Welcome to Watch Mojo, and we're counting down our picks for the top 10 weirdest matches in professional wrestling. For this list, we'll be looking at the weird and wonderful match types across WWE, WCW, AEW, Japan, and more. There'll be no bog-standard wrist locks in sight, and we guarantee a hard time explaining this to your non-wrestling friends. You've been warned. What's your favourite strange stipulation? Let us know in the comments below. Number 10. Kota Ibushi wrestles a blow-up doll. From the Cruiserweight Classic to the main event at the Tokyo Dome, Kota Ibushi has established himself as one of the most talented performers in the world. But did you know one of his greatest rivals weighs only 400 grams? They say a great performer can have a 5-star match all by themselves. That theory was put to the test when the Golden Star took on DDT roster mainstay Yoshihiko. The, Love Doll executed multiple Canadian destroyers, a pile driver, and more, which is incredibly impressive for someone without a brain, organs, or pulse. You'd think with the rap sheet of Ibushi, finding an opponent would be no problem. But then again, when you hit as hard as Ibushi does, yeah, I think I'd be busy that day too. Number 9. The King of the Road match. One of the hardest parts of the wrestling business is the countless hours of traveling. But one thing you don't expect is the traveling to continue even once you get to the venue. When the WWE bought out WCW in 2001, they've had their pick of WCW events and matches to choose from. But one match we don't expect to see again is the King of the Road match. At 1995's Uncensored, Dustin Rhodes and Blacktop Bully went one-on-one in the back of a moving truck. The winner would be whoever incapacitated their opponent, climbed to the front of the truck, and sounded the horn. After 20 minutes of throwing hay bales at each other, the Blacktop Bully honked his way to victory. Unfortunately, both were fired immediately after the event. So, we're guessing you didn't like it? Number 8. DDT hits the pool. Staying on the subject of strange locations, it's time to grab your armbands, as in 2019, DDT took 5 tag teams to the pool at the Sumida Sports Center in Tokyo. How strange must life be like to live near DDT? To be at the supermarket, or walking the dog, or taking your family for a swim, when 10 professional wrestlers go for a dip, take a dive, and duke it out for supremacy. Special mention goes out to Chris Brooks, who is dragged via figure 4 leg lock down a water slide. We really hope those boots are waterproof. Number 7. The Dog Poo Match. Being a wrestling fan is hard sometimes. For every CM Punk pipe bomb or Kofi Mania moment, there are matches that make you ask yourself, what is on the other channel? That's what springs to mind when thinking about an episode of Raw in 1999, when the Rock and Sock Connection took on Val Venus and the British Bulldog, in the first, and only, Dog Poo Match. The only way to win this very smelly smackdown was to slam your opponent into the platter of poop. And unfortunately for Bulldog, he'd be the one up all night, washing his gear. The British Bulldog joined the WWE Hall of Fame in 2002, and The Rock? Yeah, I think I'd leave for Hollywood too after this one. Number 6. Kenny Omega vs Haruka. Long before he was one of the most dastardly heels in AEW, Kenny Omega was plying his craft in much more wholesome ways, like beating up 9-year-old girls. That's right, in 2011, Kenny Omega stepped into the squared circle with a literal, legitimate child, and Omega pulled no punches. In what started as a tentative affair, quickly broke down after a vicious enziguri. But just as the cleaner literally paraded around her lifeless body, ready to end it all with a one-winged angel, the time limit expired, and the bout was declared a draw. Kids, don't try this at home. Well, unless you're Haruka, because we would really love a rematch. Number 5. Table vs ladder. Tables, ladders and chairs have long been known as benchmarks of violence in the world of professional wrestling. Stars like Shawn Michaels, the Dudleys, Hardys and Edge and Christian certainly have their share of credit to give to furniture, but never did we think we'd ever see them compete against each other. The DDT Iron Man Championship is very similar to the Hardcore or 24/7 titles. Anyone can win them, anytime, as long as there's a referee on hand. But never has the word anyone been so loosely defined. The title's been won by referees, animals, food, and prior to this epic encounter, a ladder, after it had fallen on a competitor. This was a bizarre contest you have to see to believe, and ensure you never put your feet up on the table again. Number 4. Dog Kennel from Hell match. For a match that happened in 1999, the setup to the Dog Kennel from Hell match is as Jerry Springer as it gets. On an August 23rd episode of Raw, Big Boss Man attacked Al Snow and proceeded to steal his beloved dog, Pepper. A week later on SmackDown, the Boss Man revealed he'd eaten Pepper, and thus this oddly specific match was made. The match itself featured cage walls akin to the Hell in a Cell structure, but things went off track when a pack of quote-unquote vicious Rottweilers were led to ringside. Unfortunately for all those involved, and those at home not involved, the Rottweilers began to urinate, defecate, and even mate live on TV. If the Dog Kennel match was from hell, yeah, I think it should have stayed there. Number 3. All foods are legal. Sledgehammers, baseball bats, steel chairs, and more. There's no shortage of weaponry when it comes to the wrestling world. But somehow, all of that wasn't enough. In 2018, when Jack Cave, Jade, and me, Hustle Malone, went to town in an all foods are legal match. They say office politics can be messy, but I guarantee your workplace has never been as messy as the ring did following this extremely edible encounter. Featuring baguettes, scotch eggs, strawberry laces, and more, the clash came to a close after the healthy offensive combination of pineapple and watermelon. Hey, that's 2 of your 5 a day. Number 2. The Firefly Funhouse match. Some of the matches on our list get eccentric with environment, get weird with weaponry, or get crazy with competitors. But the Firefly Funhouse match ranks so highly because it's the only one on our list that messes with time travel. Bray Wyatt and John Cena had competed at WrestleMania once before, but it was Cena's encounter with Wyatt's newest persona, The Fiend, that stole headlines across WrestleMania 36 weekend. The Fiend took Cena on a tour of the 80s, 90s, and all the way up to Cena's WWE debut, but things got truly strange when he gave the 16-time champion a chance to revisit their Mania encounter 6 years prior. While the Firefly Funhouse match may not be the most technical by wrestling standards, it proved to be a true testament to Wyatt's creativity and provided Cena with a much-needed break from the norm. Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. The Gulf of Mexico match. The Reverse Battle Royal. The Hog Pen match. And the Stadium Stampede. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified about occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. The Campground match. Right, where to begin with this? Take 4 wrestlers, including both Kota Ibushi and Kenny Omega, and take them to a local camping ground. Invite the press to come watch too. Introduce this guy, dressed as a Gundam for some reason. Add drop kicks off the swings, suplexes down hills, throw in actual fireworks, and attempt to run someone over with a truck, and end it all with your finishing move in the middle of a lake. And that's the Campground match. Ignoring the cold, mud, and other harsh effects of Mother Nature, if this match sounds like your kind of thing, you're in luck, because this outrageous exhibition of the outdoors lasts nearly an hour. Rather you than me, lads. It's bloody cold out there. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.